Morning. Today we're coming back to have a look at the house build and see what's going on. So we've taken delivery of the roof trusses and we've got two massive packs of timber over there to put it all together. Comes with all the plans. Firm is absolutely brilliant. They've only been on order probably just over a week or so, and they've turned them around quickly and got them to us, which has worked in a treat. Bobby and Len have gone off onto another job because they're sort of worked up now until we've got these trusses on, and then once we've got them on, they can come and build the gables up then, so that the triangle bits on the end. So these are the roof trusses. Now, I must admit, I could probably work it out, but I'm not 100% certain how to do this part of the job. It's not my bag. So I brought in the big guns. So today we have got Mr. Wayne Bolton from WB Construction come in to join us and help us do and get some of these trusses on. He did give me a hand with the ones on the garage as well. And we've worked with him a few times before. We'll just do a bit of an introduction and a start on what we're doing. So these are the attic trusses, and an attic truss basically is already formed in its own shape. So that's your floor joist for your ceiling. As you're on your floor, you're looking up, that's your ceiling, and that is basically you're inside your loft area. Obviously there'll be some bracings and stuff to go in when they're all erected, and we'll show you some of that as we're doing it. But the main strength of the structure, we can lift that up in one, we can sit it down on the wall, and then the brick and the block work gets built around it on the sides. Yesterday we had the two doors for the plant room, and we had the one door for the garage and the two circle windows fitted. So I'm interested to go and have a look at how they look and see how they've gone in today. But another special thing of today is it's a first for me. Wayne said when I was going to be working with him to help him put these on because he needed a hand, he was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be of a high enough intelligence level. So to try and help with that scenario, what he has done is he has gifted me a special WB Construction hat. And I think, I can't see it working, but let's try it. Whoa. I feel so intelligent now. I think I'm going to be able to work with Wayne today. We're probably going to end up seeing quite a bit of Wayne because he's not just a carpenter in terms of putting the roof trusses on and stuff like that. He's also a builder, a plumber, a plasterer, you name it, he does the whole package. So he'll be doing everything now from the roof trusses all the way through to, we'll have Mick and the guys come in and actually put the slate on the roof, but then he'll do everything thereafter. And one of the things that I liked about Wayne, when I first met him, I soon realised he's a bit like me. He's an absolute perfectionist. Everything has to be bob on, which is exactly what I need here because this is our forever home. Everything has to be absolutely perfect and right. And I can go away from here, do whatever I'm doing and trust that whatever we want doing here is done absolutely to the best possible quality. So if I first come across Wayne through working on another project, and that's where we met. So if you want to find him, you can Google WB Construction, or you can find him on Facebook or Instagram, or you could Google arse, and I'm pretty certain it would bring him up. Two different sort of arrangements on the roof. We've got an attic truss, which is what we've got here. So we've got, these will come in, there'll be 4 or 5 of these to fit, and then basically it goes into 2 hips, and then the other trusses go the other way. And then part of the house is a vaulted ceiling. So a vaulted ceiling is walls come up, angles come in, a bit flat on the top, and basically it's open and you can see the angles of the roof. So that's a vaulted ceiling. So we wanted that in our bedroom for argument's sake. And then the rest of the house, because because we're quite limited on storage and what we're doing, and we've got hot water tanks, air conditioning units, heat recovery systems to put in, to try and make the best use of this space, we've put these attic trusses in so that where the hips come in, there's nothing you can do with it. It's only going to be storage for argument's sake, but we've got the option then of putting all that rubbish up here and save losing any floor space on either one of the floors. So the idea is obviously we lift these in, we leave them just slightly away from the wall for two reasons. One, it's close enough to the wall to pick up the plasterboard, but mainly is to get the services up and down. So like I was saying, we've got the tank up here, so we've got the copper pipe going up and down, we've got all the electrics, we've got any other pipe work that needs to come up and down. It can come nice and tidy up against the wall, straight up onto this wall up here, and then there's no issues. It's not stuck in the middle of the room anywhere. So the engineers specify that you can only drill these in certain places and certain diameter holes. So some of the issues that you might have there is you'll oversize the hole to put your copper pipe through, but that diameter hole probably wouldn't be allowed because of how the calculations are done on them. If you've got to take any services that way, where the trusses are stacked that way, then obviously you've got to come out through the voids at the end and then run back along. So all your electrics for your lights, if you like, you've got to keep running in that way rather than drilling through like perhaps they used to years ago. One of the other reasons is by putting these in, we've actually eliminated the need for a ridge beam of steel, which I know sounds daft because obviously we've got a mountain of steel around the corner, but it is awkward to work with your timber and steel together, so we've got rid of that steel ridge beam that runs in with all the funny connections, and obviously the issues of getting it all up here as well, and the weight, so we've done away with that. Okay, so we've got these 8 trusses in. We started the gable end. Like I said, we'll leave it 50mm or so off the end so we can get the services through. And then we worked our way along. They're all spaced at 600 until we get to this end. This is a bit busy here because this part of the roof where it's open has got to take the trusses that are going this way. So basically we put a triple in here, and that's what it's been designed to. So there's a triple that goes in here, joist hanger, and then obviously we put the trusses then going that way. And this is a bit of a built-up area. It's a bit complicated here because it's all singular bits of timber that we've got to sort of sort out afterwards. So a few bits just to note. That there is a standard wall tie, and what happens with them is that end gets built into the masonry as the masonry gets built up, and you have a series of them at this level here, which is sort of wall plate height, and then up here at on top of the rafters. And basically it generally spans 3 trusses, and that's built into the brickwork. So if that was the brickwork there, and this is the cavity where the insulation is, it gets built in like that, and then basically it's nailed with a twist nail in to each one of the trusses. So like I said earlier, with these being attic trusses, we've lost the steel ridge beam that would have gone up the top. So when we've put these to stop them all falling over like dominoes, obviously everything needs bracing up. So we've got the piece of 4x1 timber that goes along from one to the other, all the way along there, which holds them all together in line where we want them at the right measurements. And then basically that bit of plywood that you can see in sections, there'll be some cross bracings that come down. Now, we can't put a cross bracing on the top or the bottom there because obviously we've got insulation and stuff to go on, and plasterboard and roof on the outside, so that has to sit within the void, if you like. So hence there's some battens that go in, and that plywood then just acts as a brace, a little bit like the K-brace on the steelwork buildings that I said about. It stops any of that from happening. The laths that we've got on at the minute, they're just on basically to hold things in place while we're fitting all the proper bracing. Again, we've got some restraints going that way to hold everything where it wants to be, and a couple that way to stop it again, have that domino effect. So there we go, that's the first half of the video. We split it in half, bring you the balance on Thursday. Wayne's with us pretty much now until the end of the project, so you'll be seeing a lot more of him on site. But if you like what you've seen, ring the bell and hit subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.